Welcome back to Mr. B's math class. Today we're going to look at 6.2, dividing a fraction and a whole number. So before we start, let's look at our student outcome. The first one is I can divide a fraction by a whole number. The second is I can solve problems involving the division of fractions and whole numbers. So let's take a look at method number 1. So our first method, we're going to look at 4 key steps. So our example we're looking at today is 2 out of 4 divided by 3. So the first step is to turn our whole number, which is this one right here, that 3, into a fraction. So all we're going to do for that is put it over 1. So we've got 3. To make it a fraction, we're going to put it over 1. Now we've got our 3 turned into a fraction. Step 2 says flip the fraction of the whole number. Well, all we're going to do, we got 2 out of 4 divided by, and if you look at the top here, all we're going to do is just put that 3 to the bottom and that 1 to the top, so that our new number becomes 2 out of 4 divided by 1 over 3. Step 3 says multiply our fractions together. Now we know with multiplying fractions, you don't have to worry about common denominators, so all we've got to do then is multiply across. So we're going to say 2 times 1 is 2, and 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. So now we've got our answer between the two of those, but we're not done. We have one last step, and that is to put it into lowest terms. So when we look at it, both can be divided by 2, and we get an answer of 1 over 6. All done. So let's look at an example for you guys to try. I'd like you to try this example of 2 over 3 divided by 4 using method 1. Okay, so let's look at the answer now using method 1. So if we take a look at 2 over 3 divided by 4, our first step was to put that whole number, which was the 4 here, over 1. So this is going to become 2 over 3 divided by 4 over 1. Step 2 says we need to flip that whole number's fraction. So that's then going to become 2 over 3 divided by 1 over 4. Step 3 says multiply instead of divide. So we're going to have 2 over 3 multiplied by 1 over 4. So all we're doing is multiplying straight across. So when we go 2 times 1, we're going to get an answer of 2. And when we multiply 3 by 4, we get an answer of 12. So that leaves us with our last step, which is lowest terms. So when we have 2 over 12, we're just going to divide it each by 2. And that leaves us with a final answer of, again, 1 over 6. Now if you use method 1, let's take a look at method 2 on the next page. So method 2, this one there are only 2 steps to. Step 1, it says multiply your whole number by the denominator. So we're going to multiply our 3 here by our denominator, which means bottom number, which is the 4. So all we're doing then is going 2 over 4 and 3 times the 4, which leaves us with 2 over 12. Step 2 just says convert to lowest terms. So we've got our 2 over 12, and just like before, when we divide them each by 2, we get 1 over 6. All done. So the important thing about this step is to remember you're just multiplying your whole number here by your denominator. So then it becomes 2 over 12. So let's try an example using this method. So now I'd like to try 3 over 4 divided by 6 using method 2. So you can pause it right now and then unpause it for the solution. Okay, so let's take a look at the solution together then. We've got 3 over 4 divided by 6. Well, method 2 says that we should take this whole number here and we're just going to multiply it by the denominator, which is the bottom number. So that gives us 3 over 6 times 4 is 24 So our bottom number is going to be 24. Step 2 says in lowest terms. So all we do is we have 3 over 4, 24, I apologize, and we're just going to divide it by 3. Well, 3 divided by 3 gives us 1. 24 divided by 3 gives us 8, which gives us a final answer of 1 over 8. It's a little bit different, but I want you to pick the method that works best for you. If you like more steps and it's a little bit easier to remember that way, that's fine. If you like this way better, go with method 2. Well, let's try one last question before we are done for today. So with this one, I'm allowing you to try either. If you want to do method 1, great, or method 2, doesn't matter. Pick whatever method will work best for you. But you're going to try to tackle 5 over 6 divided by 4. So again, you can pause it here and unpause it when you're ready to check out the answer. Alright, so look at the solution for this. So we've got 5 over 6 divided by 4. Well, step 1 in method 1 is we need to put our whole number, which is the 4 here, over 1. So we have 5 over 6 divided by 4 over 1. It then states in step 2 that we need to flip that whole number fraction. So then we're going to have 5 over 6 divided by 1 over 4. Step 3 states that we need to then multiply instead of divide. So we have 5 over 6 multiplied by 1 over 4. Since we don't need a common denominator to multiply fractions, we're just going to multiply straight across. So we have 5 times 1, and I'm actually going to move my work just down here, guys. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 4 is 24. Our last step would be to try lowest terms, but unfortunately this here is already lowest terms. Now let's look at what method 2 would have been. So we're just going to put that up there for method 1. Now method 2. Same question was 5 over 6 divided by 4. In method 2, there's only 2 steps. And that first step is just multiply your whole number, which is that 4 there, by your denominator, which is, right, the 6 here. So 4 times 6 equals 24, and the 5 stays on top. And we have our answer as well, 5 over 24. So I hope this made sense for you guys. Please check the links below for alternative ways to do the same concept if this was having, if you're having a little trouble with this concept. And if not, I've also listed the assignment below. So thanks, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.